McCulloch finally reined in about 20 yards from the three men still on horseback blocking the road.
McCulloch!
Red Nixon! I thought they hanged you in Laredo.
The red-bearded man with the twin bandoliers crossing his dusty plaid shirt smiled as his dark eyes brightened.
They did. Rope broke.
The rider on Nixon's left was a Mexican, wearing a beaded sugarloaf sombrero, who twisted his thin but long mustache. The man on the pinto horse to Nixon's right braced a shotgun on his left thigh and let the thumb pull back the twin hammers.
Did it now?
Well, the knife in Pedro's hand probably had something to do with it.
Pedro stopped twisting his mustache, reached down toward his left boot, and withdrew a slim dagger with a blade that reflected the sun's rays.
That must be Devil Stillman behind me then.
That's me, Matt. Nice-looking stallion you got there, Matt.
Since when did you turn to stealing horses, Red?
Nixon pulled off his hat and wiped sweat from his forehead.
Ah, now, Matt, I ain't never stole no hoss. You know me better than that. But you ain't gonna have no use for that gray stud or that roan you be sitting on once you're dead.
Red, I'm no longer a Texas Ranger. They kicked me out some while back.
So I hear tell.
I hear tell he's a jackal.
Shut up.
I don't have a warrant for you. Or even you, Stillman. I don't even know these other two gents. So there's no quarrel between us now, is there?
Isn't there?
McCulloch tilted his head. He had chased after Red Nixon for a number of years back when he was rangering, but had only seen him a couple of times, and those had been brief meetings. During a bank robbery in Peaceful Valley, which hadn't had a moment's peace in 15 years being that close to the Rio Grande, and when Nixon's gang ambushed a ranger patrol not far from that very spot when McCulloch had first joined the Rangers.
You killed my brother, Matt.
McCulloch turned his head slightly, shook it, and looked back at Devil Stillman, who sat with his arms crossed. The tall, glassy-eyed man in a tall silk hat held on his head by a piggin string was not holding the reins, and his rifle was still in the scabbard under his leg.
You know what he's talking about, Stillman?
McCulloch looked back at the three men in front of him.
I don't recall ever meeting your brother, Red. Don't recall even knowing you had a brother.
I did. 10 years my junior. You killed him.
You'll have to tell me.
He rode with Don Marion Wilkes.
Oh.
McCulloch had never even heard of Don Marion Wilkes until a fracas in Arizona Territory in which Wilkes, a cutthroat, had tried to start a war against the Navajos, tried to butcher a number of pilgrims, and had paid for his crimes with his life. McCulloch very well could have killed Red Nixon's brother, or Sean Keegan or Jed Breen might have gunned down the boy, or one of the pilgrims who were hardy Arkansas boys who knew how to fight, or the brother could have died by Navajos or even Comanche Indians. It had been a wild fight on the Dead River.
Your kid brother should have picked a better outlaw to ride for. They should have ridden with you.
Well, Matt, I thank you for that. Kind sentiments. I truly hate to kill you, but, well, you know the saying. Blood's thicker than, well, something.
Reckon so. Red, you were one of the best for a long time, but you shouldn't have ever gotten so damn cocky.
The Colt was in the former Texas Ranger's hand in an instant. The bullet caught the big guy in the sternum, killing him instantly and causing his fingers to touch off both barrels of his shotgun as he flew off the back of his pinto. Pedro's horse twisted, slamming into Nixon's mount and sending the horse bucking. Nixon was unprepared, for he still held his hat in his hand, and his other hand had a loose hold on the reins. The Mexican tried to recover and draw his pistol, but the momentum of the horse loosened him from the saddle, and he hit the ground with a thud. His right foot caught in the stirrup, and the horse bolted, dragging him like a rag doll. McCulloch hardly noticed. As his roan bolted ahead, he turned back toward Devil Stillman and put a bullet in the skinny killer's gut, sending him into the ditch. McCulloch had not wanted to kill the man slowly, but the roan was running, and he had missed his aim. Devil Stillman would die, of course, but it would take him a couple of days.